So after waiting nearly a decade, we finally got our hands on Killing Floor 3. They teased this game for nearly 2 years and we got our hands on the beta a few months ago, but does Killing Floor 3 live up to the hype? Let's see how this game is doing at launch, and for those of you who don't know, Killing Floor 3 is a PvE Zed killing horde shooter where you survive waves of Zeds, get dodge to get better weapons, then kill the boss. If you don't understand the Killing Floor lingo, then try to keep up. Killing Floor is a fun, simple game, but there's a few things that Killing Floor 3 does different compared to the previous games. The first big one is the gameplay, in that it gets faster with each new Killing Floor game. Killing Floor 2 introduced sprinting, and now we have sliding and dashing. The sliding felt natural and reminded me of Black Ops 3. At first I thought the dash was a bit much, but it's growing on me. It can be fun to slide and dash around. But something that I'm still not sure about is the syringe. You have to pay to heal yourself and you only get 3 per round. I can see this growing on me and I don't want to complain yet. I still need to play on more difficulties. But a gameplay feature that I have been enjoying is executing Scrakes and Flesh Pounds. I wasn't sure about this in the beta, but you don't have to do it and it feels like a reward when you do. Sliding and executing reminds me of a modern Doom game, but I still like these features. Not to mention slow-mo Zed time. This is always a must-needed Killing Floor feature. It also lets you get a good feel for the gunplay, which is actually a bit better than I thought. The guns feel pretty good and not too weak. This game has some weight to it. The Zeds seem to hold their own too. Some of them have even more of a presence, like the Husk and Siren. The Husk is in your face more, and the Siren has some ranged attacks now. Most Zeds have new abilities, which makes shooting the big old bloats even more fun. But something that was immediately a big deal to me is the new bosses. Don't get me wrong, I mostly like the new bosses even though they're pretty similar, but where's the OG Patriarch? He was the only boss in the first game, and I like that he's in the second game with other bosses. Even though he pissed me off, I still miss him. Well, something that they did bring back and build on top of was the progression. I've only used a few perks so far, but I like how you unlock skills and upgrade them. It's nothing crazy, but I'll take an extra layer of depth, just like modding your weapons. A modern feature that was expected and a bit overdue. I wanted to customize my weapon since Killing Floor 2. At the very least, cosmetics can make your weapon feel more personal, but crafting weapon mods and upgrades is the type of progression I can get behind. You get resources and materials throughout the game and you can use them for weapon mods and upgrades. Mix this with the perks and the skills and you have some pretty good to decent progression. But the one type of progression that I miss is for the achievements. Now they still have achievements, but a lot less compared to previous games. Like, where's the achievements for beating each map on each difficulty? It took me nearly 300 hours of playtime to get every Killing Floor 2 achievement. I've played this for about 10 to 15 hours, and I'm over halfway done. I don't want to get too into it because I'm sure they'll add more, and as a compromise, I do like shooting these cameras around the map. It's for materials, but it almost scratches that itch for getting collectibles around the map. Before I get into more things that we have less of, I think it's pretty cool that they added this hub area. I like social areas in games so you can interact and chill for a minute. I just hope they add a little bit more to it. The firing range is cool, but maybe add a 1v1 area and make it even more social. As a solo player right now, it can get a bit lonely in the hub area. Speaking of lonely, where the hell are the rest of the perks? I understand that Ninja is the new Berserker, but where's the Demolitionist, Gunslinger, even the Survivalist? There's also not as many weapons. I'm starting to see a running theme here. Like, where's the weight system for managing your weapons? Did we just forget that, or did we get rid of that? How about only having 5 waves instead of 10? What happened to short, medium, and long games? What if I wanted to play endless mode? Oh, and where's objective mode? Man, I used to love welding up doors as support. Can't do that now. At first I was having trouble with the multiplayer, and this wouldn't have happened if we still had a server browser. I bet I can blame crossplay for that one. But most importantly, they better add and give back the Steam Workshop. This is one of the best features any game can ever have ever, and we need this. I'll compromise with a level editor and community maps, but we need some sort of custom maps. Now someone should make Killing Floor 3 maps and Killing Floor 2 or 1 just to prove a point. As much as that would be the best feature with the most content, something that I miss the most is the trader from Killing Floor 1. They got rid of her in Killing Floor 2 and things haven't been the same. I didn't expect her to come back, but my god, that doesn't mean I don't miss her. Okay, I think you got the point. There's a lot of new features, but still missing a lot of classic features and things that made Killing Floor so great. As much as I appreciate this game looking and feeling much better than the beta, it's still missing that raw, gritty atmosphere. I still think this game has a pretty good presentation, but it's more generic, and combine that with the perks being more like modern specialists. It probably doesn't help that I have to run this game on the lowest graphics settings and make it look like a potato, but it looks and runs much better than the beta. Here's my specs, and I did get roasted for this in my last Killing Floor 3 videos. I wouldn't recommend this game if you're much lower than this. Most people with better PCs seem to have great performance, while some didn't. I got an error message a couple times and a few enemies got stuck, but the presentation and performance still overall seemed pretty good, as well as the soundtrack. Multiplayer seemed a little less smooth for me, but it's still fun. There's crossplay, and I like that for co-op games, and hopefully it keeps this game more alive. Speaking of that, let's take a look at the player count on launch. This is actually pretty similar to when Killing Floor 2 was first playable, which seems fair for a semi-popular game. I don't know if this game will reach the mainstream like they hope, but at least the launch numbers didn't get worse. It also helps that this game isn't a full-price AAA game. This game is $40 at launch, but I actually decided to get the $60 deluxe edition. Hear me out. I know these modern games are overly monetized and I prefer how Killing Floor 1 handled its monetization, but a new Killing Floor game comes out every decade, and this game got delayed and released on my birthday. I had to spoil myself. At least I didn't get the Elite Nightfall edition. So far this feels partially worth it because I enjoy the simple progression of the supply pass, and I want to enjoy this game, so this gives me more motivation. I still wouldn't recommend it for most people, only for the hardcore dedicated fans with extra money. And when it comes to the game itself, even though I said enough positive things about it, I wouldn't recommend it for everybody. If you're a longtime hardcore fan like me that's open-minded and waited a decade, then I'd recommend it. But if you're a fairly critical longtime fan or just want a masterpiece, then maybe not. At the very least, this is a game you wait to get on sale, but it's a shame I can't be overly excited and recommend this game to everyone. Yeah, I think it's a pretty good game and passable as a Killing Floor game. I just know the hardcore enthusiasts won't like it and some casuals won't either. Although I think a lot of casuals will like it and it'll introduce the series to a lot of new people. It just depends what your money and a new game is worth to you. Yeah, it's not a masterpiece, but it's still Killing Floor. I don't think this franchise is too far gone, yet. I just think Killing Floor 3 will need some time and updates. If it looks this much better compared to the beta, then I could imagine this game getting updated and being more worth it. I don't think this game is better than the games before it, but I think Killing Floor 3 is the most different Killing Floor game since the first one. Killing Floor 1 is the most raw with a slower pace, and it feels like Killing Floor 2 bridges the gap between the third game, which is much faster and more sci-fi. The updates were getting formulaic for Killing Floor 2, but with this game being a change of pace, I'm interested to see the direction it goes in. Hopefully not down a typical AAA direction. But what do you guys think? Is Killing Floor 3 good enough for you like it is for me, or is this unacceptable after waiting this long? Maybe I'm too laid back because I don't expect much out of games these days. I should be harsher considering the only two big games I was looking forward to was Payday 3 and Killing Floor 3. Unfortunately, they had a similar launch, but Payday 3 was worse. And that's the thing. We have to remember that I'm reviewing this at launch. Sorry if I forgot anything, but most games suck at launch and you have to know what you're getting into. Like when you first play the game, you get these missions and you're doing side objectives while getting voice commands, right? It reminded me of objective mode or maybe even a campaign, but it only lasts for about 8 hours of gameplay and doesn't lead up to anything. That's how it can feel with these newer games. Like I have a bigger vision than the developer, and I'm sure some of you guys feel the same. Drop a comment letting me know what you would add to this game or how bad they messed up. Right now I'm showing you my favorite comments from my last Killing Floor video to show support. It can feel pretty cool being up here, right? Becoming a member or donating guarantees a spot. I appreciate any support, so a rating or subscribing would mean a lot. Again, I'm just glad I got my hands on the game, but the job's not over. I think the beta was about a 6 out of 10, and I think this launched at a 7 out of 10. But the journey isn't over when you buy a game these days. Now, we have the adventure of hoping this game updates into an 8 or even 9 out of 10. Well, this is the start of that long journey. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace.